right, happy holidays to everybody else, and happy whatever might not offend you to the others. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's December 26th, 2020, and we just thought we'd come on and say hi to everyone, and hope that your holiday season's been going well for you so far. Sydney, Australia. Of course, Rebecca says it's already 2 p.m. in Sydney, Australia. Australians, you guys got to outdo us on the calendar every year. Remember around the year 2000, we were all looking to see if your world imploded on you, and we're like, no, Australia's still there. I guess we're all right. You're great for people who are worried about the end of the world. You can just wait and see what's going to happen in Australia, and you're like, nah, I guess they're still there. Hello in Mexico. Hello
Kentucky,
from
North Carolina.
all over the place.
Yeah.
I apologize if you hear me kind of coughing every once in a while. Melissa has made me a tea. It's scalding hot, so I'm going to let that cool off a
water.
bit. You got me a water, but I don't know what to think about this saying that's on it.
Oh, that one's mine.
She gave it to me in the world's okayest sister cup, which is the one that Heather got for Melissa.
Because I'm okayest.
I have the world's okayest brother. That's usually mine. I'm going to drink from your cup.
This is the best. And she's like, I'm glad you think so. And then I got one too.
Yeah, somebody said New Zealand. Forget Australia. New Zealand will end first. Yes, because you have Mordor in New Zealand. That's why it's going to end there first. Hopefully you guys all had good holiday break. We do presents Christmas morning. So yesterday morning we did our present opening with the kids, and then we had my mom visit, and she came and did presents with us and had dinner, and it was a good visit. We watched some movies. Holiday tradition for me is Christmas Story and Scrooge has to be on there somewhere. And we got both those in this year, so that made for a good Christmas. The two movies that you can watch once a year at this time of year, and it makes perfect sense. Boxing Day is a thing, Dave. Dave says, is Boxing Day thing? Yes, it is.
It wasn't really this year for us.
Well, apparently there was lots of people out shopping, but normally Boxing Day is a day that everything goes on sale at the stores. It's like Good Friday for Canadians, and that is normally a big deal to go out shopping today. But in the past few years, you've had Boxing Day sales pretty much last all month long anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't really, unless it's electronics, there's Boxing Day weeks. There's no point in going out on Boxing Day.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's like Black Friday.
And sometimes they have Boxing Week sales online too, so there's no...
Yeah, somebody said, are you still coughing? Yes, I'm still coughing. When I have allergic reaction to things like dust and that in the house, it sticks with me for about a week or so until it settles down.
We're going back in tomorrow, so... We
are. I'm trying to get out of that house as quickly as possible.
But the humidifier seems to be helping him, so...
Not in that house.
No.
We didn't set up
Here. Last night, I gave Alexander some Vicks Vapor Rub and put the humidifier on. He didn't cough all night.
Yeah, so it gives me like a form of, allergy-induced asthma when I'm there. So I pretty much can't do a whole lot in the basement of the place right now. Even though I spent 2 solid days in the basement prior to Christmas, and I think that's what I'm still recovering from right now. So even with taking antihistamine or pills and stuff, it still gets to me. It's like a uncontrollable muscle spasm in my throat that makes me cough. But anyway, a lot of you guys have been asking about the auctions. I've been getting so many emails, and I'm very glad that and very pleased that many of you are interested in a lot of the items that I'm finding in the house. I have a lot of work ahead of me to get that stuff over to the auction still, and the goal is to get it over there, get it inventoried, and then hopefully they'll have it up and available for bidding by January 14th or 15th. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. Tomorrow morning, we're making a trip to the house, and we're going to load up the ambulance as full as it will go, so I can get a big batch of stuff over to the auction and just start getting stuff moved over there. Then I have some furniture left in the house, and then I should be pretty well done, which I can't wait.
N95 probably would help for a mask.
Yeah, I probably should switch over to a better mask. Yeah. But, Emily Olson, thank you. Taking photos of progress.
And my sister's coming over to help me. Thank you for your inspiration.
Yeah. I've been getting through the work on this house that we don't even own the house. We're just cleaning it out and finding all kinds of cool stuff. But I haven't had time to really do a big house clean here. So there's You know, my garage I got to a little bit today because I took a couple days off, so I decided to clean my garage up a bit today. And it's been an awful lot of procrastination, I think. Well, not procrastination, I just haven't had time to do it. Somebody said, did you get to the garage at the house? No, I haven't done the garage episode yet at the other house. There's a couple episodes that will probably come before that. And then once the garage is done, we'll be able to sign off and say farewell to that property, unless the owner decides that he wants to sell it to me. But I don't think I should even be looking at it right now. After finding, you know, some mold in the basement and foundation issues, I don't think that would be a great house for us to buy. So
It's nothing that can't be fixed. It's just we have to look at what we would have to put into it, including purchase price. So
yeah.
it's still an investment for the owner. So
Miss Michelle says Vicks on the bottom of the feet. Melissa always does that to me.
you know what? It's funny. Apparently, that's supposed to be a myth. But even when you go to, I believe it was right on their site, they said that it was a myth. It works for some reason, myth or not. It works.
Good morning from Finland. Hope you put that Art Deco ship picture up for auction. Yes, it will be going up for auction.
And happy holidays. Thank you for entertaining us.
Happy holidays for you too.
Well, thank you for coming along and visiting with us.
What's next after the house? What's next after the house? For those of you that are just joining our channel and haven't been with us for a while, I have been working really hard for the past year or so to get permission to build a little building next to my store. We have a vacant lot or a little space that's unbuilt next to our building, and we sought permission to develop it, and we got that permission right in time for winter to hit. So we couldn't get anything put up last year, but this spring and summer we're looking at building our take on kind of like a modern Parisian kind of style cafe, I guess you might say. So that's what the goal is to get that up, is to get a building put up. I'll try and answer some questions from you guys too as we're going along.
They ate a spoon of Vicks. I'm not so sure that's good. I'm pretty sure you should.
I don't think you should eat Vicks. I think it's a bad idea.
It's like a petroleum product too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
No, Jim Jackson, thank you so much. He says best wishes. Yeah, the
and I put honey in the tea. It's marsala tea with a teaspoon of good morning creamed honey.
We are, I'm just trying to read some of the questions here. Somebody said, any idea what the coins are worth? Well, some of them were replica, some are real. We're just assessing that out right now.
He said, did you buy anything at the Hoarder house on Christmas Eve? Happy holidays.
Well,
we bought everything from the Hoarder house.
Yeah, we did.
Before Christmas Eve.
We didn't go on Christmas Eve. Did I go Christmas Eve? I don't think I did.
No, she said, did you buy anything at the Hoarder house?
Yeah, no.
We didn't go on.
Oh, the gross house that I went to with Josh.
Oh.
No, that deal was the guy saw that I was working on this other property, and he said, oh, we've got this place that the town owns and we're probably just going to knock it down, and it's full of stuff and you can have whatever you want inside of it. But there was a lot of tools for Josh, which was good. If you haven't watched Josh's episode, you got to watch that. For me, there wasn't much at all that was salvageable.
Patty said, Merry Christmas. Did you say you'll have 800 lots in the auction, or 800 boxes or 800 items?
800 individual lots could be a box of item or it could be an individual item. So it means there's 800 different listings, and a listing will be something like a box of assorted, sewing patterns, or a box of scissors, which I know I have. So there'll be 800 different lots to bid on, but a lot could be one individual ring, or it could be a box of something.
Yeah.
So
box
we just, rings. Or a piece of furniture or whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah. We're trying to get 800 lots put together for the auction. Amanda
said before that, does the auction house determine the prices, or do you have to have a say on minimum price?
On some things I could have a say on the minimum. For the most part though, we put everything up for no reserve, starting at about $10. So when it gets bid on, it goes. Everything goes up starting $10, and then it goes for whatever it's going to go for. It's not much fun going to an auction and knowing that something isn't going to hit reserve and you're not going to win it. So when we do our auction sales, we like to know that we're putting it up and it's going to be realistic for it to sell.
Yeah. Amanda said, I appreciate your generous spirit. It's very apparent that you have a caring heart. Thanks, Amanda.
Oh.
Hey.
You're welcome.
No, Amanda said, yeah.
Yeah, she said thank you. Yes. Somebody said, please tell us a story about the lost 1500. Well, it's not lost anymore. I found $1,500 in the house. Then I gave that money to Hans and Zenobia because they've been such a big help. And it's right before Christmas, and they said, well, it's too much, and we shouldn't take it. And I said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So they've offered to help me for a couple more days on the place, and we'll be all clear of it. But I gave it to Zenobia because Hans was busy carrying a box. She stuck it inside like a little plastic tube or something, like maybe the type of a travel toothpaste tube or something like that. And she put it in her hood. She was wearing a hoodie, you know, the type of pocket in the front that goes all the way through, like you can reach through and it grab through. So she put it in that pocket, not in a purse or anything like that. And so as she was kind of leaning over and sorting, apparently it fell out on the ground, and she forgot she put it in the tube, and it got picked up and thrown out in the trash. So Hans and Zenobia are freaking out because they can't find the money. And then so Zenobia is like dumping out garbage bags like nobody's business, which I guess we'll have to deal with that in the basement come Monday. There's a bunch of dumped garbage bags down there. And anyway, Hans and I went out to look in the dumpster, and you probably saw that part on the video where Hans was, you know, kind of like, oh, I can't believe it's lost. And then he found it, and then he was going to withhold it a bit just to tease Zenobia, but I convinced him to go down and tell her that he found it.
Is it kauctions.ca?
Yes, it's kauctions.ca is where the auction's going to be.
I put the site up. Also, whoops, I missed one. Randy. Hey, Randy. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too.
I had a quick peek in the garage. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a deal. I don't think I have to empty out the garage because that wasn't part of it, but I do own the stuff in there too. So we'll go dig around in there a little bit. When the house is done, take a break before you get too sick. Yeah, I agree with you. I will probably take a break.
Do you? We all heard it here.
April says, my mom craved an 8 Vicks Vapor Rub when she was pregnant with me. I'm only a little weird. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to eat Vicks Vapor Rub. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Nancy, I'm really interested in that old salt and pepper and flour shaker sets that's sitting on the stove forever.
Auction or buy it directly?
That would be going to auction. Like, I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I just putting everything through auction because there's a lot of times there's multiple people interested in the same thing.
And thank you, Nancy.
And you sell to one person, then you make 2 other people angry. This way they can just duke it out at the auction, and we know it went for whatever the fair value was.
The dollhouse furniture, is it going to auction, or is
Was there dollhouse furniture? I think Zenobia kept that. I can't remember. The dolls will be going to auction. There's like an old walking doll, and there's a bunch of other dolls. Melissa and I, somebody said, what did we get each other for Christmas? Melissa got me a Ghostbuster Lego set, and I got Melissa a winter coat that didn't have a ripped
sleeve.
But
funny enough, I picked a white winter coat, so whenever we do something like sledding or when I go to the house, I still wear that ripped sleeve.
Yeah.
But I like the white.
We don't really do a whole lot for Christmas because
I think it's more, for us, it's more important for the family. I mean, for us this year, it was just us. But usually we have everybody over, and we have like, get together with family. That's our main part for Christmas.
Generally, it's all about family.
Even this year, even though it was just our household, and we were able to have Alexander's mom, since she's living on her own she has but yeah, she's allowed to be in our cohort.
Yep. So the site is kauctions.ca. I think you're our only moderator right now, Melissa.
No, Heather's on here.
Is Heather on as well? Okay. kauctions.ca is the website.
Does not like it when I try to put it in there.
The auction is not live yet. We'll let you know once everything's up. I still have to do a lot of work in terms of inventorying it all over at the auction site. And they will ship anywhere.
It's convertible weather up there. How is the rolls coming?
It's not quite convertible weather yet.
But it was pretty nice out the last
It was very mild, yes. Well, I put on our Facebook page, I think, or maybe it's on Instagram as well, that Lev, our Ukrainian mechanic that's been working on that Rolls Royce, he got it running and driving. So he drove it around a little bit in the back alley there. He said it's driving okay, and everything seems good so far. But they had to sort out a few things with the wiring and so forth. So not quite done yet, but it's farther along. I see a lot of people asking, how is Matthew?
I gave you water.
Sorry.
I didn't keep any of the clothing items. No. I have enough. I'm not somebody that has a lot of clothes on purpose. I have a very nice little compact.
So Matthew Fox is he was a former New York City firefighter who was there when the Twin Towers were hit, and he fought he battled that blaze at the Twin Towers. Um, he is also a moderator on our channel, and so he's one of our internet friends, and he offered to moderate for us. He's a wonderful person. Also makes jewelry as a side too, and is in a rock band. But yes, he did get sick with COVID. He's resting up, and last I heard, he was basically just kind of sequestered in his room and trying to just keep healthy. So we wish Matthew nothing but health and happiness, and we've been kind of keeping our eyes on that situation too.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get an update from him soon.
Sergeant Red's Vintage Toys. First off, congratulations on the subscribers going up too. That's great. I thought you were going to walk the planks in the attic to check for treasure. Glad you didn't. Sort of, although that would have been exciting. Merry Christmas.
I don't think there was going to be too much in that attic, and I can't imagine this lady crawling up in that attic and putting stuff down in there, or her husband doing it either. It looked like it was pretty well undisturbed for a long time. If there's anything, it would be in that little room where all the clothes and the scrolls have been. That's where something would probably be hidden. But I did not want to go up in that attic space with my allergies acting up the way they are. That places like that can actually get kind of dangerous.
Julie said, this clean out fascinated me. What was the deal that you made with the clothing guys? They're going to do very well. I'm guessing you were going to say, do you regret letting any clothing go?
So Julie asks, do I regret letting the clothing go? Not really, because I had nowhere to put all that stuff. And even if I brought it all home and I found out that there was a lot of good clothing, and yes, in time a person can make their money back. But for those of you that have been with our channel for a while, you know that I don't like sitting on things for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So for me, I believe more in I'd rather make a quick nickel than a slow dime, I think is the expression, where I'll make profit and I'll make my money back, but I'd rather do it quickly and then move on to the next thing, and have incremental investments versus just sitting on one commodity like that. And the amount of time and effort it takes to process, store, clean, and sell all those clothing, that's not something I'm set up for or established for. So.
And they're already in the business of doing that. So responsibly to make sure everything is handled properly, it was more responsible for us to make sure that it went to them than us. That would have been a problem for us. So.
Yeah, and even when I find stuff like the Queen Mother's, fur stoles, it's not like I can keep it. We made a deal. A deal's a deal. We uncover a room full of fur coats. That's on me to not have looked through that room first.
But that's good for them because
it's
they have to
go
through all those boxes of, say, 80s clothes, and then they get something good in they need to have some treasures to find too to make it worth it for them. Merry Christmas from Heather, and Happy New Year, Alex, Melissa, and family. It's always a pleasure to watch both of your channels. Continue to do what you do. Thank you very much, Heather. And Nancy said, I'm really interested in that old salt and pepper and flour shaker set.
Oh, she asked that before.
Is that the same one?
Yeah, Nancy, we're going to put that salt and pepper set up at the auction, so just keep your eye on that. Cindy, thank you so much. Cindy Kruger says you were amazing. Thank you.
Corinne, your videos make me very happy. I don't have any questions, just wanted to say thanks. Well, thank you very much, too.
This started off, this whole adventure with our store started off as kind of a me taking a shot in the dark at a dream that I wanted to live, which was, I don't know. I know I've explained it before, and a lot of you guys are kind of new to the channel, so I'll explain it again. I was in a job that I felt like I had really no future in. I worked for a good company. So I was a senior manager at Apple, and you'd say, well, that's probably a pretty good company. It was a good company, but there was nowhere to really grow. Unless you want to move to California or do something like that, I was going to be stuck doing the same job probably for the rest of my life. And I was stuck inside. I worked inside of a shopping mall. And I was, looking out, not seeing daylight. I'd come into work when it was dark and leave when it was dark in winter, and not seeing the kids and working shift work and stuff. So I felt like I was really missing out on life in a sense. And it was depressing. That company wasn't really a depressing company to work for. It's just some people are okay with that type of environment. And I was the type of person who needed to be out moving around and doing stuff, which is why when I was a district manager, at one time I used to run 26 stores for a clothing chain. I felt more at home there because I was out on the road all the time. So we left that, opened up the antique store, and had no idea whether it'd be a success or not. But here we are now. 4 years
it's worth
later.
it to take the jump.
There's a couple super chats we
Yep.
got to answer. Samantha.
Just found your channel and now you're addicted. That'll happen. I live in the UK and love collecting unusual items. I love your generous nature. I cried when I watched what you did for the homeless man. Such a beautiful thing.
Yes, well, thankfully Adam is not homeless any longer, so he's
Yeah.
back, able to see his children more regularly, and he's got a job out in Ontario. So we chat with Adam on occasion, and we're very glad for him. I went out to visit him about this time last year. I was actually in London, Ontario, visiting with Adam. So if you want to see that update, you can go back in our archive video and watch what happened there. But I took him antiquing with me, and he's not much of an antiquer. He does have a good eye for stuff. Like he was, when I met him, he was binning, which means he was finding stuff in the trash and bringing it in. And he'd always bring in interesting things. So I hope he kind of sticks with it because he has a natural eye for it. Santa, thank you so much. She sent us a crazy little guy in a rocket ship flying around. Thank you so much. It's very nice. And
No, that was after.
we're all caught up. Did we get that one?
Yeah, I got all of those.
Okay, we're caught up. Super chats. There we go.
Well, don't jinx me.
Ashley says, this year's has ups and downs for you, but you both always remain positive and giving. It's super inspiring. Thank you, Ashley.
Happy holidays to you as well.
I had a couple big goals that I was trying to aim for this year, and they were lofty goals. One was to pay off our house, and the other was to save money and pay off our store. We've done one of those things, but if you don't, somebody sent me a little picture, and I think it said, when you have a dream and you write it down and set a date to it, it becomes a goal. And that's kind of what I do all the time is I try and set a date and I create goals, and I always have different goals. And when I reach that goal, I almost kind of go like, now what am I going to do?
But things always show up, like what your next... Bill, I don't doubt at all that Alexander is going to hack up a big dust ball. That sounds right. That sounds like...
Somebody thinks I'm going to hack up a dust ball. It might crawl away at this point.
That's so cool.
It's possible.
And thank you very much. Michigan J Frog said, your son Steven is a talented artist. He is a very talented artist. I wanted to show you guys what he did for a Doodle Saturday. For those of you that saw on live, but...
If you won something from the December 5th sale, it should be there already, unless you're overseas. Then it takes, I think, 6 to 8 weeks usually, so you'd be seeing it probably the second week of January. I'm not going to hack up a pine cone, Amy, don't worry. At least I'm not going to try to. Katie, thank you so much. Thanks for being you, she says. Thank you.
So on his channel, he did a little...
This is our son, Steven.
On Steven Draws, yeah.
Yeah, he does little drawings and things like that.
But he did that one live on a chat, or on a live.
Yes, our son Steven also has a YouTube channel where he does drawings, and that's under Steven Draws. Do you want to put it in?
Bro, I don't know where the link is.
It's just Steven with a PH, so Steven Draws.
Did you just tell me how to spell Steven's name?
That's true. I assume you're his mother, and you would probably... I was saying it for their benefit. I wasn't saying it for you. I know you know his name. I was saying it for the people at home watching. They might not know how to spell Steven's name.
Wilma said, Ontario once again on lockdown. Thanks for giving me something to look forward to every day. Stay safe.
Well, and boy, I apologize for the coughing.
It gets worse at night, of course, just like everything.
Oh, yeah.
We have family in Ontario as well. So thanks for your t-shirt. My hubby loved it so much so that it's his favorite now. I didn't actually let that go through. Hold on. Wow. Okay, now I'm
Melissa's
losing
going to get
control.
caught up.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay, this sound.
How did the man acquire the house since there was no family? Lifelong friend. That's what happened.
And a will.
Yeah, and a will.
Karen, thank you so very much.
And Matt, did you open the door on the wall at the bend of the stairs? Oh yeah, I did. It was just more. Guess what? More fur coats. I didn't even put it in the video.
What was in there?
Everybody's like, "There's a secret door at the stairs." I'm like, "It's not so secret. It was another closet full of fur coats." And yeah, we emptied that out from our quantity.
Oh, jeez.
I think there's going to be, we'll probably do a video tomorrow, I think, with us loading up the ambulance full of stuff. We'll probably do a little walkabout. Melissa and I will do a little video there.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. And then, so we'll have more videos starting on the house again. I don't know how many videos will be left of this. We at least have to do a few more. There's the garage, and then we have to do the auction video with the follow-up. So probably about 5 more videos, I think, or so. I don't know. Hard to say.
Leanne said, don't know how you found the energy to do the videos along with all that work and family time, but we're grateful to be along for the ride. We're grateful that you guys come along for the ride as well.
Yes, we're very grateful for all of you guys watching. Chad, thank you so much. Oh, what was Melissa's reaction to me finding a silver bar? I think what was the first, you said, is that thing real?
Like my, I don't know, because I had a different experience than, because you called me about it and you were being all secretive and I wasn't sure what he'd found. So it was, I knew it was something. I already was prepared.
Jordan's in the Netherlands. He's a relocated Albertan. Nice to chat with you, Jordan. He watched our other series, the Potter's House series, where we did this once before, where we bought the contents of a hoarded house. And
Well, we bought the whole house last year.
yes, I was going to say the difference was that the previous time we bought the whole property and renovated it. But we were able to help bring to light Mary's work. And I will do a video for all of you asking, and for those of you that guessed, we will try and do a video to honor the lady that lived in this house as well. We just want to do a little bit more clear out before we do that. So when I get to a spot where we're about to close the door on the house, I'll probably do a video. Well, I know I'll do a video, and we'll reveal who this lady was and what her story was. We'll tell the story for you, so at least you understand.
As best we can, yeah. Kim said, best wishes to you and your family. I didn't hear how you did at the auction that ended on your birthday. And thank you very much, Kim. Whoops.
Well, as a result of that auction we did on December 5th, it was enough money to pay off the balance of our house that we own, so that we were able to pay off our house. And now there's no mortgage, so that was a really great feeling to get that done. And I'm very grateful that auction was successful. Every time we put these little goals on paper, we try and put things in motion to reach that goal. That auction was one of them. We're trying to build a building come spring. The next auction or two that we're doing is to help raise capital for putting up those buildings. So
Sue Page said Amy Lee said she didn't have money for a super chat. So here's a hello on behalf of Amy.
Oh, thanks.
Love your series.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Amy. Oh, and my sister Heather is on, by the way. I see her there.
Natalie
She's moderating.
said you should go buy wear a GoPro. I'm only laughing because he hears that a lot.
How about this? I'll order a different. I have a GoPro. I just can't find my mount for it, so I'll order another one after.
It's funny though, because then he'll film with the GoPro, and then at least half of the people will be like, "Oh, that was awful! Don't ever use it again." So we can't win.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky thing when you're exploring live in the moment because it's not scripted. I mean, you're basically living life as it's happening. So
and a GoPro, you can't see the image, so you have to guess and.
Oh, Darlene Gallup, thank you so much, Darlene.
And then I've got
Canadian Cat Green. Oh, hello. Nice to see you. Love
Merry
the
Christmas.
work you guys do.
You're awesome. Yeah.
Canadian Cat Green comes to our store and buys die-cast cars and always wears the color green.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Easy to identify. Pixel Pusher Pro.
Thank you very much. Finding your channel has been one of the few highlights of 2020. Thanks for always seeing the positive. Our family looks forward to every episode. You know, the truth is that you guys are part of my positive experience of 2020. I actually look forward to these live feeds and being able to chat with you and hear how you guys are doing. And the emails that come through, I'm actually saying that you guys are part of the positive part of my 2020 as well.
Yeah, Melissa was, she's like, when are we going to do a live feed again? I want to say hi to everybody. So I was like, okay, well, we can do one tonight.
I'm addicted as well.
Steve says the style of filming is part of the character of the channel we love. Thanks. It's kind of a little bit like the Blair Witch Project at times. You know,
especially when it's dusty and there's all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're basically you're living my life through the screen because I'm holding that camera in front of me and you're seeing everything I'm seeing as it's happening and seeing what Hans is doing and all that. So you get to live a little bit of what a day is like for me. And I'm glad I get to share that with you.
Emily said, if you had $1 for every time someone mentioned the GoPro.
Thanks, Emily. At least we'd have $5 now, thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super chat. And yeah, we will order a new GoPro mount. I'll do it. I mean, I have used a GoPro before when I was doing, I think when I did the Alfa Romeo restoration, I took a little ride with it attached to the GoPro. I even have the car mount thing where you can suction cup the GoPro onto the car and get these shots. And I was driving with the GoPro suction cupped on the side of the Alfa Romeo, and it actually fell off, and I think I ran over it. That's how I broke my GoPro mount. The GoPro was fine.
I got you that GoPro.
I know. Merry Christmas and a small gift for you and the kids. Been watching with the French Canadian. We love watching all things Canadian. Well, thank you so much.
And
I appreciate that, Richard.
You too. I forgot. I missed one. Sorry, Carrie.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Carrie, thank you very much. Melissa's going to try and keep up on all the super chats and
Oh, well,
everything.
now that I know it goes across the top, it took me how many years? A lot.
Do you guys remember? I went through. I don't think Josh was with me, but I went through that little hoarded house in spring or summer, and it was out in the town of Moderator. Do you remember that? And I stopped, and they had like it's the home of like the world's biggest sausage. I stopped. I'm such a child. I stopped and I took a picture of the big sausage. You know how towns have like a giant thing? Like this town has the world's biggest teacup or whatever. They have a big giant sausage. That's it, because they make sausages in Moderator. Anyway. Oh, I have to answer one from Aaron. Fellow Canadian loves you guys. Thank you very much, Aaron. And I think we have another one that popped up too.
And Maureen.
Oh, Maureen, glad to hear that you're recovering from COVID as well. And we're happy to try.
You're recovering, not that you have COVID.
Well, yes, we're glad about the recovery part of it.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too.
So anyway, I was at that town and I looked at that house and it was kind of gross. And they left a message for me. They sent me an email. The realtor did, because at the time I said, "Would you sell this place?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know." And you know, we're gonna get a realtor involved. Thank you, Sherry. She says, "Buy a respirator mask." I'm not being a distracted gerbil. I'm trying to answer super chats at the same time.
And he's a distracted gerbil.
That too. So I said at the time, "Well, I don't know." An average house in the city of Edmonton is about $300,000 to $350,000, something like that.
Well, yeah.
That's like where we live. That's what an average house is.
Oh, in our area, it's more like 400.
In this, yeah, and depends on what area you're in. They range.
Yeah.
In that town, the average house is probably around 100,000, and that house might be up for grabs for like 15 or 20,000 bucks. But it's a total renovation, and it's like an hour outside of town. And if I did buy another property, it would be so I had somewhere to let my mom live. So she had her own little spot with a yard, and she doesn't want to live an hour outside of town. So
We don't want her to live an hour outside. Yeah.
So even though they wrote me and I could probably get that house really cheap and do a fix up on it, I don't think I want to be driving an hour out of town every day. As much as I like the pierogies and the Ukrainian garlic sausage that they sell there, that would be almost worth it.
We could just ship that in.
But we can buy that at our store here.
Pat said, "Merry Christmas," or whatever doesn't offend you. Hilarious. Blessings from our family to yours. My husband got hooked on the current series.
Oh, good. Well, what did Hans and Zenobia do with the $1,500 he gave? Well, they lost it and then they found it, and I imagine they probably used it for gas money, Christmas presents, or what have you. So
Joe said, "For the respirator fund."
Thank you.
Thanks,
Joe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use some of that money for my cough syrup fund more than anything right now.
What are pierogies? Oh, right. I forgot. Remember, Heather didn't hear of pierogies.
Pierogies in Ukrainian are called pedahe.
It's like a potato dumpling.
Yeah, they're really good.
It's like a dumpling full of like mashed potato with onion and spices and stuff. You put bacon bits and sour cream and sauteed onions on top.
Check behind the fire plates.
Face plates.
Switches, plugs in the house. Yeah, we could check that. Pierogies are good. Somebody said, "Did you find any Tiffany jewelry?" Yeah, there was some. There was also this too, which was there.
Most of the kind of, not channel, Abigail.
Abigail, right now, this is live what's happening. Oh, she ran away. She ducked and covered. Okay, our daughter, we just made her fly on the ground. We caught her. She was stealing chunks off of our gingerbread house while we're trapped on camera, and I went to flip the camera, and she literally hit the deck like there was open fire on the house or something. Okay, Abigail, now you gotta come say hi to everybody. She's crawling around the ground right now. Like, she's doing an army crawl up to the table.
Baby, come here.
Oh, my son used to work with you. He said you're a great guy. Different last name. What's your son's name? Who's your son? Darlene Gallup. Tell me who your son was, and I'll see. I'm sure I would remember them.
Baby, are you gonna come say hi?
Anyway, this was the Chanel piece.
We want Abigail. Susie said, "Get more sleep. Maybe even a sauna."
This was the Chanel piece that was in that box.
It's sterling.
It's a big, heavy sterling silver bracelet.
I looked at this piece for so long. I was like, "Is this sterling or not?"
Yeah, it's sterling, all right. Oh yeah, there's where it says
realize.
Chanel right there on the thing. Anyway,
hey, come say hi. Everybody's calling you.
This is our daughter who just jumped off of screen a second ago. Come on, you gotta come on more than that.
She's like, no.
Come here, honey.
That's it.
I have gummy in my teeth.
Oh, I know you have gummy in your teeth because you stole it off the gingerbread house, you turkey.
Abigail, don't hide from us.
Yeah, she
Everybody
was
stand
stealing.
high.
Hi.
She was stealing. Oh yeah, she did a little bit of blue on the bottom of her hair.
I did that little bit of blue on the bottom.
That's true.
I died when I was doing it. And she's like, "Mom, are you getting my neck?" I'm like, "No." So I lift her hair up and I dyed all her neck. Oops. It says pineapple juice works good as a cough syrup. Oh yeah, but here's my contribution to the respirator.
Pineapple juice works as good as cough syrup. I love pineapple juice.
What
So
are you
maybe I'm
looking
in luck.
I have pineapple rings.
I don't know if that's the same.
We should toast the pineapple.
Well, I could
Yeah.
shove it in a blender.
You guys should use the house as your background instead of the wall. We
We're going to put it in front of the Christmas tree, but then we have to put lighting on, and that lighting's blinding.
yeah, we just decided not. We decided to do it in the usual spot because the lighting's a
And
little
thank
bit
you
better
though too.
here. Oh, hey you 922 has been with us for since 1,000 subs.
Love the channel. Favorite episode was when Alex was taking his dad to that hoarder house with the Wild West town.
That was a crazy place. But you have been with us for a while. If it's you know, the one thing that I'm really grateful for with doing this YouTube channel is that both of our dads were in some of our videos. And so when I'm feeling kind of lonely and missing my dad or missing Melissa's dad, Dave, we can go back and watch some of those episodes and just remember those experiences. Oh, Brandon Wersch. Yeah, of course I know Brandon. He was at the Apple store. So yeah, I imagine Brandon's probably still at the Apple store if he's not. But yeah, I remember Brandon. Worked with him for quite a while.
Sherry also gave $4.99 to the to the
Respirator fund.
Love
Thanks.
you all and all that you do.
Thanks, guys. So I will try and answer some questions now. We'll move into Q&A for a little bit here. So if you have any questions you want to ask or things I can answer, I'll try and do my best to answer them for you. And here's the trick. I'll try not to cough while answering.
Do you know what that silver horn thing was frozen in the bag? Well, I don't even know what that is.
Silver horn frozen in a bag. Which episode was that on? I wonder. I can't remember. How many sewing machines have I found in the house? I think I found like 7 sewing machines so far. I donated a few to charity already, but the little portable units I will run through auction. The big sort of tabletop units, aside from the small or the treadle machines, aren't really worth a whole lot. So
Our kids they're all at that point. Jason's birthday is in a couple of days, but Abigail's 11. Jason is turning 14, and Steven is turning 14, 15, 16.
16.
No!
Yeah, Steven's old enough to get his actual driver's license here.
Oh my goodness.
You had to count it out. You may be gasping cough because of the dirty pic you looked into, perhaps. No, it's from, I know exactly the moment where I got this cough. I was in the basement of the musician's house, and I was under the steps, and I moved a box out of the way, and I breathed. I had a mask on, but I breathed in, and I started having a bad like asthma attack. Like I could barely breathe, and I was wheezing. And from that moment on, I've had problems with this cough. It'll eventually go away. About a week or so after being out of this house, I'll be there. The the place that I went to with Josh, I didn't touch anything. And because the heat and power had been turned off for 4 years, nothing was blowing around in there. So I don't think that place made me sick. I got out of there in a big hurry though. Tom Wheatley, was the most recent hoarder house really that bad, or you just have hoarder house fatigue? No, it was really that bad. It was like
True.
if you took mouse droppings and smeared it over everything like peanut butter.
No, like the one that you went with Josh
Yeah,
was like that.
the place I went to with Josh was that bad. He's at the most recent hoarder house. That's the one I posted
see.
that
I
on
thought-
Christmas Day or whatever.
Oh, I see. I thought
Yeah.
you meant the one that you're in right now.
These places find me, Leslie. Leslie says, "How do you find these hoarder houses?" You do something like this once, and then somebody says, "You think that's bad? You should see my uncle's place, or you should see." So I get calls like this all the time. In some cases, people are okay me doing episodes. In other cases, they're like, "Well, we don't really want people to know how Uncle Pete used to live, and so I don't film." In this case, it didn't matter because, well, we will try and do our best to preserve this woman's legacy in a very kind and thoughtful way after we're done getting the house cleaned up a bit. But yeah, these places just kind of come along, and they're out there everywhere. When I was working on this current place, Bill, I'll do an episode where I reveal who the lady is and her whole story. And I know some of you may have thoughts and guesses, but we'll keep that for a future video.
Yeah.
D. Davis says, Sarge has me hooked on your channel. Love watching you. Glad I'm not the only one. Married to a crazy picker. Oh, thanks. Red.
Oh, and it's nice to see you on here too.
Thank you, guys.
I watched them do their unboxing when they found the wrapped toys.
Yeah. I can't remember what I
Will
was
we
talking
see
about.
the
These
Tiffany
houses
jewelry?
finding us. Yeah. What's that?
Will we see Tiffany jewelry?
We're Melissa and I are getting things inventoried and getting over to the auction.
Because it's hard because it's not here; it's at the auction house.
But
so.
here's the deal, guys. There's going to be 2 auction sales. The first one is going to be all the household stuff and collectibles that came out of the house. The second one will be likely the collectors, coins, like the silver bars and stuff like that, and jewelry will be another auction probably in February. Or
Yeah. That way we have a chance to kind of go through all the costume jewelry too, because there's quite a few items. So, and Pat says message retracted, but thank you so much for your super chat. And
Komodo art soaps.
Please say hi to my mom, Karen DeBow. Hi, Karen.
Hey, we did it.
My mom and I love watching your channel. She'll be like, "Oh, you butchered my name."
I have not
I got
checked
the Karen for sure.
I've not checked the false bottoms of the closets yet. They are nailed down and covered over in paper. I don't know if they would have hit anything in there, but if they did, they hadn't been in there a long time. But I may pop those open and have a look-see, because that would be a really good place to hide something special.
Did you keep the Disney boxes? Any of the Disney boxes?
The Disney boxes were really not salvageable. They're all really musty from the basement. I had a lot of interest in those. Of all the things, cardboard boxes. Like, you guys want me to ship a cardboard box? It's going to be crazy expensive, but I didn't keep them. They were dirty. You guys would get sick from it, so unfortunately they made it to the trash.
Steve said, "How did you get started in antiques? What was your first sale?"
I got started in antiques. We lived in a condominium complex, or like row housing rental unit. And during the spring or summer, I would go around to garage sales on my bicycle, and I'd go looking for stuff I thought was cool. And so I'd take maybe like $1 or $2 or whatever I had to my name, and I would go looking for like little antique toys or things like that. And I would get them and I'd polish them up with little car polish and a toothbrush, and I'd order little replacement tires from England, and I'd fix them up and I'd sell them. And I started off doing that. I remember going to a garage sale once. I wish I had the time machine now, but this lady had a shoebox full of Redline Hot Wheels, and they were 5 cents each. And I bought them, and I probably sold them for like $5 each. But for me, that was a big profit when I only went in there with 50 cents and I walked away with $100 or whatever. But my very first big score was I went to a garage sale with my dad, and I had, I think, $20 that I'd saved up. And this family was selling off collector coin sets from the 1900s, 1920s, and 30s, and they were all in their original boxes, like sort of felty little boxes. You've seen them before. They have individual coins. They're all proof sets. And I asked how much they were, and she said, we're selling them all for we're selling them all for face value. And I'll come back to the super chats in a second.
Yeah, I know.
So I bought $20 worth of coins at face value from like 1930s face value. So it was a moving box full of money that I got, basically. And I said to my dad, I was tugging at his sleeve, I said, "Dad, oh, we got to buy all this stuff." He's like, we don't need to spend our money on that kind of stuff right now. We're not wasting our money on that. And I thought, whoa, I wish we could have just gone out there and bought all that stuff. So I took my moving box full of coins, and I went and I sold it to a coin dealer, and he gave me $1,500 for it. So my first real big score was, I don't know, it was probably 12 or something. And I took $20 and turned it into 1,500, and I bought a little scooter with it. That's what I bought. I bought Honda 50 Cub with the money.
It went past.
Okay, we're gonna answer some super chats.
So
now.
I did miss some. I'm gonna try to go back. It's not letting me see them anymore though. So Leanne Thompson said
wishing Matthew all the best. Yes, thank you, Leanne.
a difficult year, but spots of joy always. To adventure and joy filled 2021.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Komodo, yeah,
I
we
said
said
that.
hi. Please don't change. Non-super discourse are ignored. I'm a fan, but disappointed. I'm not trying to not answer the super chat, the non-super chat questions. I'm answering a few as I go. It's just they go by really fast, Pat.
Yeah, it goes, and then all of a sudden the super chat comes up, and then it freezes everything.
But yes, we do have an obligation to answer super chat, so that's why we go back and answer them.
Or I try at least. There's an obligation. You
Peppermint
miss
will
them.
help my cough. Thank you.
Brian.
Brian, your episode's been really good. I was still trying to find you a tandem bike. We just sold a tandem bike not that long ago, actually, an antique one. Thank you for the great content. Thank you, Kayun. I don't know if I say that. Kayun.
Yeah, it's an I.
Okay.
It's my
Well, thank you so
computer.
much for sending that.
And Pat, did I get Pat?
And Pat, yeah, okay. Thank you, Pat. There, I think are we caught up now? Did we get that one? Oh, finding your channel has been one of the highlights of 2020. Thanks for the positive. Well, Pixel Pusher Pro, thank you so much. And Santa
saw
S,
that
yeah,
one.
we saw that one. Okay. Thank you guys very, very much for all that. And I will try and answer some other. This is probably about the 6th hoarder house that I've emptied, but only the 2nd or 3rd that I've probably filmed. The first place was actually we bought the contents from a friend's house. I traded him a Tag Heuer Monaco watch for the contents of the house, and Melissa and I had cleaned that place. That was a lot of work. There was a lot of paperwork and stuff like that.
Lucy's World said my dad would hide his guns under a step like that. Lift it up.
Well, I'm gonna go searching around. I mean, we've been finding lots of interesting things in the house, and I'm sure there's gonna be lots more even in the last little bit of emptying. We haven't even got to the garage yet.
Heather's laying down the wrench.
Yeah. Oh, we just missed another. There were some Blue Eye rinse bottles when your mom were looking at. There's somewhere they're going to be going through auction. I have them in a bin. They're probably over at the auction house already.
Yeah. Thank you.
You will. Kate, I've had subtle hints throughout my series. She said, "Why did you call it the musician's house?" Well, you notice there was a piano. Was the first thing I took out of the house. The person that lived there was a musician, and that was their life's ambition and what they did. And so throughout the series, I've been using piano music. You may have noticed a lot of the openings have piano entrances or classical music. This will all make sense when I reveal more about this person's story. But the person was a musician. That's why it's called the musician's house. Honestly, I feel like if they were going to be remembered as anything, I'm sure that's how they would like to be remembered. Although they had a very interesting life, that's probably how they'd want to be known.
Did you do a dining room episode? Regina said, Alex, did I miss the dining room episode? I wanted to see the depression.
No, we've just only started on the dining room in the last day or so. That'll be coming up on a future episode.
It's funny because we have to remember to do an episode, but as well as get this all done. So you're kind of in house cleaning mode and getting stuff out, and then you're like, oh, I should film this. But
yeah, I'll give you guys a follow-up on the Gibson. I just know somebody mentioned the Gibson's getting fixed up. Yeah, we found beautiful Gibson. I think it's with a J45. It's an acoustic. Nice guitar, but it had the head snapped on it. And the mahogany necks like that are kind of prone to snapping under tension. So I did find a luthier that said he can fix it. He's actually Clint. He's a friend of my friend Josh's, a friend of a friend. And he's going to I'm going to give the guitar to Josh to give to his buddy. And hopefully we'll get a little update on that down the road.
if you guys follow Josh, then you've probably met Clint through his episodes.
Oh, thank you, Leanne.
Yeah.
We got your message. Yes. Joy-filled moments for 2021. Agreed.
I'll make sure that he gets it as well.
Yeah. I will do an episode likely at Mark's when he gets things sorted. Mark and I have chatted about that. He is planning on sorting throughout January, and he's going to show some of his best finds, and we're going to try very hard to do an episode with what he's been finding in the bags of stuff. I'm sure he's going to have a few real gems in there, and I'm excited to see as well.
Regina, sorry.
She says, I have an antique lamp you might be interested in. How do I send you a picture of it? It's in mint condition. CuriosityEdmonton@gmail.com is our store email address. I will say that our store email address is a little overwhelmed right now, so I'm trying my best to keep up on it. You'll get an auto reply that says I'll get back to you when I can. It's just, Christmas Day, I was answering emails trying to get caught up.
He's like, yes, I'm finally caught up. And then he looked like,
it refreshed and there was like another 400 or something.
I said, I don't think these guys, they expect you to just be nonstop on here. So I stole them away and let that pile up.
Somebody said, you should have a Patreon. I actually do have a Patreon account. I just never really talk about it because I feel like my job is to create these videos. And if you guys watch these commercials, that's my job. That's my second job that I do. It's to create content for you guys, and then we get paid some ad revenue for the commercials. And so I don't really like to push the Patreon that much. But it is for a lot of YouTubers, they rely on that for extra income to do what they're doing. If a person felt like they wanted to, they could find us. I think we're just under Curiosity Inc. on Patreon as well.
Chris, thank you for keeping it real. I appreciate the obvious love and admiration you and Alyssa have for one another and your children. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, Chris.
Yeah, it's a rare thing to find a woman who's gonna put up with you going out and doing crazy stuff like
I knew
I
you
do.
would say something weird.
Well, I didn't mean to be weird. I know that you have faith in me, is what I'm saying. Is that we have a level of trust and faith in each other at this stage of our relationship, particularly where, if we just gotten married and I'm like, I'm gonna buy a house full of stuff, she'd probably be like, what now?
But I'd already been with you for a while before we got married.
Yeah, true.
I would have known. That wouldn't have surprised me. If
Yeah.
I want to send you a gift, where can I send it to you?
If
love
you
your
wanted
child.
to send anything, it would go to our store address, which is located here in Edmonton. Of course, you can find the address on Google by just searching Curiosity Inc. and you'll find
In
our store
Edmonton.
address there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to see Windstar says, well, I caught you when you're live. Yay. Well, we're glad you caught us too. Okay, let's see. Oh, Zenobia is on. Hello, Zenobia. Zenobia and Hans will be joining us on Monday. Melissa and I are going to the house to take a load of stuff, get it loaded up. Hans is on as well. Nice to see you, Hans. If a person has a YouTube membership, yes, they still, if you decide to use your membership to watch our channel, a certain percentage comes over.
Oh, sorry.
It's not much per commercial, like a few cents or something, but when you times that by however many views, it starts to add up after a while.
I for sure would love to learn how to make soap. And if it was really good, I would put it in the store, but I love homemade soap.
Yep. Let's see. I was with Hans the other day and somebody recognized him from YouTube and they lost their minds like Hans was the fifth Beatle. You know, they were driving in their truck and Hans will verify this is a true story. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about Hans' celebrity. So I'm moving stuff or whatever and I walk by. Hans comes walking up to talk to me and a truck literally screeches to a halt, like slides on the ice. This woman gets out, Hans! And she's like, oh my God, it's Hans! And then guess all the family like gets out of the truck and they start snapping pictures and Hans is just like, okay. So, and then they're like, well, where's your lady? And then Zenobia came out and they wanted pictures of Hans and Zenobia. It was really, it was beautiful to see Hans getting that recognition. A lot different than just living in the small town where he lives, I'm sure. I don't know if maybe people are stopping out there, but usually it's to do some work for them. and he comes into the city and he gets like a carload of fans stopping him and getting his picture taken. But yes, Hans does deserve it. He's a wonderful man and it's well overdue, I think. Yeah, I mean, hey, Hans has his own t-shirt for crying out loud. That's, you've reached a certain level of something when you got your own t-shirt and stuff out there.
I had that one.
Oh, Chuck, thank you.
Vitamin C
for allergy. Thank you. I apologize again for coughing. I'll try and have a glass of water so I stop. What was the other super chat? Did we miss one?
No.
Okay.
I'm actually on it. Do you think your attitude was different between the musician's house and this last house? I think that when it came to the people, the attitude is kind of the same. But I mean, the last house, you had to go through with minus 40. It was 3 hours away from home.
That was the most difficult part is when I did that last house, I was working 4 or 5 days at the store. And then I was driving out of town 3 hours, staying in a little motel, not sleeping very well. And I was working in minus 40 conditions. So I was lonely, I was tired, I was run down, I was feeling sick. And the place had no heat or plumbing or anything like that until much later on in that series. So that place was a lot more challenging. But there is so many people ask, well, what happened to that last house that you bought? We still own it. There's a family that's living in it now. They're renting it from us. They've been wonderful renters. And they've maybe shown some interest in possibly buying it. So we'll talk to them in spring about that. But it'd be great to have a family just owning and living in that house and maintaining it. And they've been working. I'm more curious to see how the yard turned out because they were seeding it and working the yard, and they said it's really greening up now. It'd be nice to see that yard come back around.
If I missed your super chat, for some reason it skipped by some and it didn't show it to me again. Somebody said that Not-
Certainly not trying to miss your messages.
No, who was it? Now I missed who it was. Randy said it's the giant stuffed tiger in your store for sale.
Yeah, we sell them.
Oh yeah, this one, 18C Mohawk. You missed mine. I
Oh,
apologize. I
sorry
can't
about
even
that.
find it. I went as far back as it lets me see it, and I can't even see it. There was another one that I just thrift trader.
Yeah, all the pictures on the wall are going to be going to the auction. The auction is kauctions.ca. It's very easy to sign up for an account. Somebody said, how do we log into the auction? We've never done that before. Oh, thank you, Sherry. She says, aloha, love your channel. Thank you. Basically, you go to kauctions.ca. It says create account. You enter your info in. It verifies it, and you're good to go. And so anytime there's an auction, you can bid on whatever you want, whether it's our stuff or anybody's stuff. And there's a lot of good things that go through that sale. So I'm sure you're going to find some cool things there.
Thrift Trader said, I've been a big fan for quite some time. Keep up the fantastic work.
If you, I guess to kind of get back to that, I guess if you get back to that question of, was my attitude any different between this house and the last time I did this? Yes. I'm not feeling as miserable. I mean, there was that sense of camaraderie. Josh and Jakota and Patrick and I would go out to the small town bar out there, and I'd pull out the guitar and we'd sit and sing songs and have a pint and eat pizza. And I miss that aspect of it, which we just simply can't do right now anyway. But you know, I'm really grateful that Melissa's been more involved in this series, and Melissa's come down with me several times, several times to this house, and it's nice to have my better half with me and going through stuff and helping me. I apologize, folks. I'm so sorry.
You have
This is
you have water. Do you want more?
Oh, it's not the water. Anyway, this coughing is the result of being in that house. And I will eventually get better. It will happen. It's just a scratchy throat, allergies. I'll get it. Dave says, put some whiskey in your tea. Maybe.
Did you film Melissa going through that upstairs? Oh, I missed it, Susie.
I think in one of the early episodes we had Melissa in, and she was digging around with me. I think maybe the first or second episode, when she's like, how did you get in the room? Because we had to go through like a 6-inch gap to get inside the upstairs bedroom. She's like, how'd you get in there?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. It started.
Have I been COVID tested? I've been COVID tested twice. Not recently though.
Because every single time it's the exact same thing. And because it doesn't get any worse, it only gets better. No other symptoms. It's the exact same thing every other time.
I know.
Every time.
I guess I know my body well enough to know that this is not anything more serious than my allergies.
He's not even tired or anything like that,
No.
other than when you overdo it.
I'm totally fine. I just have a scratchy throat because of inhaling dust and things like that. So if I started feeling other symptoms like a fever or something,
Plus,
I would.
it's been like over a week.
Yeah, I would not go around other people in that. But no, I feel completely fine other than needing, probably a bit of rest and to take care of
Plus,
myself.
I'm like over the top cautious with that. So if he was hacking right next to me and I thought that was a possibility, you wouldn't see me here. You would see like him locked in the bedroom.
Somebody said.
Marianne sent a super chat as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. Somebody said, are there places in the house you haven't checked yet? Yes. There's still the dining room to do. There's still the tool room is not completely cleared out, and there's an entire garage. So yeah, there's still places to search, and we'll do a little poking around and see if we can find anything in those places soon. Garage episode will probably be, I don't know, maybe we'll poke around in the garage tomorrow and do like us loading up the car and we'll snoop around in the garage. Would you guys like that if we did the garage
I would
tomorrow?
only like that if it's nice out.
Yeah.
Andrew said, glad to hear. Thanks for explaining.
Yeah. So we'll probably answer a couple more questions and then we'll probably call it a night, guys.
So there's some super chats coming through that don't show my other things. So I don't know. The guns isn't as big of thing here. Like we don't find guns.
It doesn't. I'm not really. The
And
value.
it's not good if we find guns, anyways.
Well, not unless I have my license. I don't have my license, so that stuff. I mean, I can hand
we
it
only
over.
have antique and.
If I find something like that, I can hand it over to an auction house that can sell it on my behalf. But they're really not worth that much. So there's more exciting things to find other than that.
We loved your channel since the Potter House. Can you wish my wife Deb a happy 50th birthday?
Well, happy 50 years, young Deb, and Ray is thinking of you because
and we're thinking of you now.
Well, now we're thinking about you too. So happy birthday, Deb.
And Susie's daughter, Jen. Hi, Jen. I'm glad she watches too. JL Gould. Oh, yeah.
No, there's not a car
Jane.
buried in the garage. I found an owner's manual for a 67 Chevelle SS. That would have been a nice find. Open the garage door and it's like, what?
Jane
But
said, sending you much love from Clarksville, Tennessee. Thank you very much, Jane.
how did the two of us meet? Somebody wants to know.
Kind of through a mutual friend, we ended up meeting.
Is that how you're gonna leave it? I'm
Well, I'm going to end up talking and then missing and then...
okay.
Okay, so my dad was dating a lady named Laura, and she had a daughter named Helena who went to school with Alexander. This is going to get very confusing. That's why I said it like I did. They were in grade 12 together. She brought him home with a bunch of other friends one day, and I said, that's the man I'm going to marry.
She brought me home with a bunch of other friends.
Yeah.
Her somewhat stepsister at the time
Yeah.
was my biology lab partner, and she said, I'm having some friends over. Do you want to come over for dinner with them? And I was like, I guess so. Because, you know,
But you
like,
didn't
why
even come
not?
for dinner. You guys just came and then left before dinner.
I guess, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, she was just a friend. Had no idea that girl might have had inclinations to possibly want to go on a date or something. Didn't know that at the time. And Helena, if you're watching this video, the
She's
things
probably
you
like,
find out later. She's probably like, I'm over
I
it.
didn't want that.
Yeah. She's like, I moved on. Anyway, so Melissa was a couple grades younger than me.
Yeah.
And so when I went over to the house to visit, and I was just a friend of her stepsisters, really. And Melissa I'd like play guitar, right? So then Melissa would come up and be like, can you teach me something on guitar? And I'd be like,
This is what won him over.
and I was like, well, I guess. But I was like, cute kid, you know, like.
Is that how you were? Cute kid. You
Well,
are
I
full
was.
of baloney.
It wasn't until I graduated and we kept writing as pen pals, and then we basically stayed in touch and ended up
He
getting
had
married.
he says he puts his arm around me to show me how to play guitar, and he says, I can't believe they just left you alone in here with me. What if I was an axe murderer? I'm like, what did you just say?
That sounds like something I would have said.
I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess they tested you. Natalie said, can you show us the house when it's all cleaned up? I'm new to the channel, so I'm not sure if you did do this already.
Yeah, we will do before and after episode. Usually the last episode when we do a clean out like this, we show what it looked like before. And then we'll show the same room. You know, like a little harp transition. Do-do-do-do-do-ding.
That's exactly
with
what's
twinkles.
gonna happen.
Ba-da-ding, and then it'll look better.
Any idea of what the value on the vintage sheet music?
I don't. Certain sheet music, we're putting it through as a big lot. So when we put the sheet music through the auction, it's going to be probably like 200 pieces of sheet music in a bucket, all for one money. So it could go for $10. It could go for $100. I don't know. It's gonna go for whatever it goes for.
I put, whenever I make a tea, especially if any of us are not feeling well, I put honey, lemon, and fresh ginger in it, and cardamom seeds. And then I strain that all out. So that has honey and ginger and lemon in it. Did you actually see any mice?
Not live ones. There's not one single mouse. Like there's lots of evidence of mice in the house, but I think because I've been trying to leave the lights on to make sure the mice kind of get the hint to not hang around.
They're not thinking like, woohoo, finally lights. Let's see what we're chewing on.
I hope not. No, they're probably having some kind of great go of things when we're not there, but when we start moving around, they go hide. I said to Hans, we're going to move when we get to the last corner of the basement, we're going to move one box and there's going to be 1,000 sets of eyes staring at us. They're all going to scatter at one time. Ah! You know, they're all like migrating to one area, I'm sure.
Does the pump organ work? Is there a pump organ?
Yeah, it does kind of work. Yep, it's going to be going to auction. There's an organ in the house. Yep.
I can't even think of where that is.
Didn't see any cash in the freezer. No, we'll do a little bit more exploring and stuff like that.
Wait.
We're just trying to read some of the questions zipping by here. What do you guys have to do with the stuff once it's all cleared out of the house? It's going to auction. That was the whole deal, is that I have an arrangement with an auction house that I didn't have to store it anywhere. Like a lot of people said, you're going to need a storage unit. Nope. Donate the stuff, get the garbage in the dumpster, take the good stuff to the auction. It never even goes to my store.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do this big sale and then I'll use that money to help finance the next adventure of putting a building up next to the store. It's a pretty good system because I don't have to worry about extra storage space. It is very labor intensive because I have to move it all over there and take all these loads over the auction a bit at a time. And so far, I've taken over like a moving truck full of stuff, bit by bit in my ambulance, and there's gonna be another truckload of stuff in that ambulance too. But every time I take a load out of that house, there's one less thing to worry about. But eventually, I'm gonna have to go and work at the auction for probably a week, just inventorying everything,
Yeah.
getting it ready so they can
And
take
anything that
pictures and
needs to be
sell it.
cleaned can be cleaned. Happy holidays. Have a lovely new year. Me and my dad love the videos. Awesome to see your adventures from New Zealand. And JD.
One
thank
place
you
I'd like to
much.
visit.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah.
Guess I'm going with you.
I was watching an interview with the New Zealand Prime Minister, who's the youngest female to have ever been a prime minister and have a baby while in office. I can't remember, is her name JC or something? I can't remember what her, it's escaping me what her first name is. But she was saying how people just come up and chat with her when she's out buying diapers and stuff, and she'll stop and talk to them. I was like, that's so great. That's so small town. Jacinda, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, so Jacinda, she goes out and she goes and buys her groceries, and she's like just doing her normal thing. No, like probably armed security guards. She's just out at the grocery store buying stuff. And I was like, "Hi, Jacinda, I got a question for you." I don't know why they're Australian in my head, but she's like just stops and talks to them. I'm like, that's pretty nice. It'd be nice to live in a place like that where it's just very, very
And
folksy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Andy Boy said, "You guys are awesome. Thank you."
So, sorry, I apologize.
I'm
Good
going to
grief.
grab the water.
Well, I think we are going to sign off anyway.
Okay.
So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us on the live feed. Melissa and I will go out to the house tomorrow. We'll shoot a video, some exploration in the garage. Oh, Patty, thank you so much. Getting metal detector fell over the house. I don't have the rights to the stuff in the ground. So, and plus the ground is frozen right now. It's Canada. It's solid ice. Like the dirt, you can't really dig it right now. So there's no metal detecting right now.
When are you coming to Manitoba? Not anytime soon. We're not traveling anywhere. We're hunkering down.
I'll come back again, though. I actually
Yeah.
quite like driving out to Manitoba.
Well, we used to get that all the time.
Yeah. we
Because we
spent a
live
lot of
there.
time. We used to live in Manitoba.
Yeah.
So we will, once things normalize in society again, I'll be doing a lot more travel. My goal this year was to do a lot of travel and get out there and meet you guys and go to new places and see new things. I was going to go out and hit all sorts of cool antique places all across Canada and the United States, but that has kind of taken a back seat. And so we're buying houses full of stuff and having fun too. So guys, thank you so much. Glad that you've stuck with us, or glad that you've subscribed if you're new to the channel, and more episodes coming soon. So stay tuned for more. Have a wonderful night, guys, and bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.